I kind of introduced this yesterday, but we didn't call it anything. This right here, on your notes yesterday when we were doing this, is slope form. When you're figuring out rate of change, you figure it out the same exact way.
That x plus b type of thing.
Y2 minus Y1, X2 minus X1. So this is what slope formula is. The only thing different is the way we label it, we call it M. Okay? All right. Looking at this first thing we have two ordered pairs, 4 and -2, 1 and -2. Okay? Label it. X1, Y1, X2, Y2. I want you guys to get in a habit. If you do this, Levi might remember this. If you do this, it's way easier. Write this before you even start a problem. Okay? This never changes. If you do this, you won't make the mistake with the negatives. Okay?
Kind of looks like a division symbol.
It does. Yeah, right? If it were dots, it'd look exactly like that. Okay, so see how I wrote it here? So I'm going to plug in my Y2, which is 2, and then see how this is a -2? So this goes inside parentheses. Okay? That's what I wrote right here. Anytime the second number is negative, whether it's Y or it's the X, we put it in parentheses. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
But
Okay.
if it's positive, we don't put the...
Just put it in. Just put it in. So just remember, second number, negative, inside parentheses. Okay? So this one was negative. Now when we're looking at our X2 and X1, there's our X2, -1, and then our X1, 4. Okay? So now we're ready to solve this.
What if
But this right here is multiplication. Levi, go ahead and ask.
what if the first number is negative? Does it matter?
It doesn't matter, because when you have parentheses and nothing in front of it, it doesn't really mean multiply because there's nothing to multiply it against. Right? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and solve that. The very first thing we need to do in PEMDAS is we need to multiply, right? So we're going to change the symbol. Negative times a negative is a positive, right? It's going to change it to +2. So we're going to rewrite it. 2 + 2. I don't need to do anything here. Just remember, this is like money. I owe someone $1, and then I borrow 4 more. Okay? So -1, -4, we're adding them together. -5, 2 and 2, 4. Now, this is not simplified because this right here does not exist in math. Okay, good talk. So, all we do is we take this negative and move it over. Let me explain why. What type of math is division?
Multiply. No.
What type of math is division?
It's
It's like a fraction, right? Isn't a fraction division? Okay, so this is not simplified. It means we need to divide it. When we have a fraction, we can leave the fraction alone, especially when it comes to m. Okay? Because slope is rise over run. Even if it's improper, we can leave it that way. Because between the 2 points, we need to know what the rise and the run is. Okay? So this is that one time you can leave things improper. Okay? So, but with this said, this is not the answer. This is the answer. Because a positive divided by a negative is what?
positive.
A positive divided by a negative is what?
Negative.
A negative. What's a negative by a negative?
Positive.
Good. And we actually have an example that happens. So that means our final answer is m equals -4/5. Now, we're going to talk about what happens with the graphing. Okay? This is our first ordered pair. We're going to go and graph this out. Okay? So 4 and 2. When you graph this, write a 1 on the outside. So you know this is the first one. Okay? We're looking at the relationship between 1 and the second one. Are we clear? Okay, now we're going to go graph the next one. Our next one is -1 and 2. So -1 and 2. Now, if we did this right, Erica, we can count the rise and run, and it's going to match this. Okay? Not the simplified answer, but this right here. Okay? Because our rise is going to be on top, and our run is going to be on the bottom. So from here, we're going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it rose 4, and then it went over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is correct. We did this right. Very last thing, if we're starting from here and we're going to here, what type of slope is this?
If we're going upwards,
Yeah,
that's positive.
it's negative. Let's say,
Oh, because it's on the negative side.
right, correct. If we're going this way, we're going further and further in the hole. Okay? Now, if this second point were over here, then if it's down here, it's still negative, but if it went up here, it'd be positive. Okay? So we're looking at the relationship between the first pair and the second pair. It's heading down, it's negative. Or, a way to think of it too, this is positive, these are negatives over here. So it's negative. Okay, any questions on this? You guys were doing this yesterday and didn't know it. If you remember to do this, it's fairly easy. You just have to remember the rule that the second number, if it's negative, you need to put it in parentheses.
Is this how we're doing?
Yep. Okay, any questions on A?
No.
Okay, B, same thing. We have two ordered pairs, right? 2 and 0 and 2 and 3. These are all positive, right? So we have nothing to put in parentheses here. So label your ordered pairs. That's the very first thing you're going to want to do when you get your test. Write your x1, your y1, your x2, and your y2. Okay? If you do that, this is fairly simple. After you do that, write this. Notice every time it's in blue, right? I'm doing that to show you guys that's the very first step that I do. Good talk. Okay, so from here, I'm going to put my y2. By the way, y is always on top. Here's a good way to remember this. Which one's on top, the x or the y on the graph? The y. So if you remember, the y's always go on top, the x's go on the bottom. Okay? Okay, so y2, 3, 0. 3, 0. Then 2 and 2. 2 and 2. So we're going to solve this. 3 minus 0 is 3. 2 minus 2 is 0. Okay? And if we have a number divided by 0, it's going to error out. Okay? This is very good to know, because the calculator is telling you what the slope is at the end of the day. It's undefined. Okay? Come up here for me, please. Quickly. No, quickly. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and graph the ordered pairs out. We're going to be 2 and 0. Okay? So we're 2 and 0, and the next one is 2 and 3. So 2 and 3. So this line is running straight up and down, right?
Yeah.
And what did I tell you about that yesterday? When a line is running straight up and down? It's undefined. It's basically a mathematical issue. Pastor, move up. Christian, I'm trusting you, okay? Stay focused? Okay, good talk. Okay, so our rise and run is still 3 over 0, right? From this ordered pair, we went up 3. We had no run. It went straight up and down, so it's telling us that the slope is undefined. So, when you guys get to your test on Friday, you're going to have sets of ordered pairs, okay? You're going to put them in the formula, you're going to solve them, you're going to graph them out. Make sure that you list first and second, so you can see what's happening with this. Then you're going to define what the slope is, okay? What if the slope were running this way? What do we call it? It's not going up and it's not going down. It's just going straight across.
0.
Very good, 0 slope. Good. No, go ahead. Okay. So we did 2 examples. We have another negative one. Label your ordered pairs. Write this down and go insert this in. So y2, negative 1, y2, 2, x2, negative 2, x1, 2. Then solve. Negative 1, negative 2. This is I borrowed $1 and I borrowed 2. How much do I owe? Good. Negative 2, negative 2, negative 4. Now, this is not simplified because, remember, this can't happen in math. Just like this can't happen in math. Okay? You have to simplify this. It's a fraction. We can leave it alone. Okay? But this is a negative divided by a negative, which turns it positive. Are we clear?
Yes.
Okay. So, when we go, I thought I graphed this one out. No, apparently I didn't. So let's go graph this one out. Put a graph on your paper. And then it looks like we're 2 and 2, negative 2 and 2, so we don't need that many points. So let's just do 4. And then we're going to go plot our order pairs. Remember, first one goes first, okay? So we're 2 and 2. We're going to go 2 and 2, and we're going to put a dot and then put first. Okay? Because we want to see what it's doing to the next one. So the next one now is going to be negative 2, negative 1. So that means it's going to go over, and it's going to go down 1. Here's our next point. Okay? Now this is the cool part of this. This is what our final answer is, because it's a negative divided by a negative, which turns it positive, right? But if we're going from this first to second, this is actually giving us the directions of what happens. So let me say this again with Christian looking on. This is the directions of what happens on the graph. Just like this one was the directions of what happened on the graph. I need the hoodie off. I need the hoodie off. I need the hoodie off, please. I'm trying to lecture. I'm trying to record. Do as I ask. Okay, from here, these are our directions. We're going to do the same exact thing. So from this first ordered pair, we're going to go down 3 and over 4. If this matches, we know we got the problem right. Okay? What type of slope is this? When we connect these two ordered pairs up, what type of slope is this?
Positive?
Yes, it's positive. Very good. Okay, the last one is taking y-intercepts, which we did this week, and combining it with slope. Okay? Y-intercepts is fairly easy, right? Because all you're doing is replacing x and y with 0 and solving for it. Okay? So this is the equation that we're given. Okay? So we want to find slope. You digging in your pocket for your phone. So here's our equation. Okay? We're going to write the equation twice, and then we're going to replace x with 0 and y with 0. Okay? To find our y-intercepts. So 6 and 0, that's 0. We're going to focus on the negative 5y. We're going to divide both sides by negative 5. 30 divided by negative 5 is negative 6. We know what our y is. Then we're going to come over here. We're going to replace the y with 0. So we're going to focus on the 6x. So we're going to divide both sides by 6. 30 divided by 6 is 5. We now know our intercepts. Okay? So we're going to go to the graph. Our y is going to be negative 6. We're going to make a dot. And then we're going to go to our x-intercept, which is 5. After we did the intercepts, guess what? We know the ordered pairs, don't we? Right? Because what's this one right here? The x is 5.